Today's review is on Fox's new show, Duncanville, with Bless the Heart's season finale ending on January 12th. I guess that is when Fox decided to air Duncanville. I'm actually surprised that Bless the Heart's season finale ended in January. I thought it would at least ended in March, but then again, Duncanville aired in February, so I'm guessing they had to put Duncanville in the Fox's animation domination lineup on Sundays, since the Sunday lineup starts from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, so yeah. Anyways, Duncanville is created by Mike Scully, his wife Julie Thacker Scully, and the one and only Amy Poehler. The show's characters makes me think of the Simpsons and Futurama characters based on their eyes, noses, and teeth. I figure someone from the Simpsons is involved in some work with Duncanville. Mike Scully is the exclusive producer and showrunner of The Simpsons. His wife has written episodes for The Simpsons and Duncanville. Amy Poehler is back in action with her second cartoon, since her first cartoon was Nickelodeon's The Mighty Bee, which a lot of people did not like. I thought it was okay, but it's fine for people who did not like it. The main character of the show is Duncan Harris. He's a 15-year-old who makes bad decisions. He is also one of those characters who daydreams. Like, for instance, in the cartoon Doug, we all remember when Doug would have his dreams where he's the superhero Quail Man from the comic book, and he will also have his daydreams about his crush, Patty Mayonnaise. Well, Duncan does the same thing, where he has daydreams about a certain crush of his, and there you go. Duncan is voiced by Amy Poehler. Amy Poehler is also the voice of Annie, Duncan's mother. She provides the voice of the mother very well, and it suits her. Annie is a parking enforcement officer who hopes to become a detective someday. Dream big, Annie. Dream big. And Annie is actually funny, like in the one episode where Annie and her husband Jack try to teach Duncan and Kimberly to be responsible, but then they end up going to Mexico. She was pretty funny in that episode. Like towards the end when she took a bite of that chocolate gun, Annie went crazy, where she pretty much just ran away from her family, and it was nonsense. And let's not forget when she was watching Duncan be responsible by picking out his own underwear. And then all of a sudden, a random police officer shows up and asked her what she was doing. And Annie flat out told him that she was watching that beautiful boy pick out some underwear. Yeah, the way she said that, obviously the police officer thought she came off as some pedophile. It's like, Annie, why would you say it like that? She didn't even mention that Duncan is her son. And then she looking at Duncan like, that's right. Pay the man. And then Duncan's looking at her, and then she waves at Duncan saying, great job, honey. Oh, Annie. Oh, Annie. All she had to say was, oh, officer, that's my baby boy. I'm just teaching him how to be responsible. I am not a pedophile at all. Is that what you were thinking? That's all she had to say. Jack Harris, the rock-obsessed plumber who was voiced by Ty Burrell, aka Phil Dunphy of our family. I think Ty Burrell and Amy Poehler make a great team when providing the voices of the parents. And I actually felt bad for Jack in the Jack's Pipe Dream episode, where some guy named Bobby with an Australian accent pretty much takes his place, pretty much taking over all of Jack's plumbing duties. And it seems like people, mainly the women, are head over heels over Bobby, and they replace him with Jack because of his looks. And it's like they see Jack as not so attractive compared to Bobby. Jack isn't a bad looking guy. And sure, he doesn't have the looks of Bobby, as Bobby has the six pack and he's mainly shirtless majority of the time. But it's like, who cares about Jack's appearance, or who's the most attractive person where you choose that guy over a guy like Jack? Like, that was pretty messed up, especially for the women in this episode. Even Annie and Kimberly were going gaga over Bobby. I mean, even Duncan took a look at Bobby and he was like, oh, he's hot. You're screwed, Dad. Wow, Duncan. Okay. Even Duncan said that. It caused poor Jack to get all depressed. And then Annie was telling that maybe he should figure out his next move. And it caused him to have suicidal thoughts where he even thought about committing suicide and telling Annie that he'll be in the garage for at least 20 minutes. When he said that, it made me think of that one Family Guy episode where Peter shot Quagmire, which was pretty idiotic. And him and Quagmire and Joe were no longer friends with Peter, where Peter wanted to commit suicide. And that's when he asked Lois how he cut himself, and Meg hollered upstairs telling him how to do it. And then Lois said, Meg is right. And then Peter said, okay, I'm going to go in the garage. Yeah, when Jack said he was going to go in the garage, it made me think of that Family Guy episode when Peter wanted to commit suicide. And then it got ugly when Jack even had audacity to grab a wine glass and pour some antifreeze in it. It's like the suicidal thoughts were serious. It's like, no, don't do it, Jack. Don't do it. This dude is losing it. Don't do it. And then, of course, later in the episode, there was a flood. And then Kimberly was like, oh, now you want his help after you turn him down because he's ugly? Wow. Kimberly called her own father ugly. And then Duncan, he replies saying he's not that ugly. He's actually a solid 6. Thank you, Duncan. I mean, at least Duncan gave him a solid 6. I mean, he's right. Jack's not a bad looking guy. So then all of a sudden, the Bobby guy shows up. And then Annie and Kimberly and everybody else, and especially the women, are just going gaga over the Bobby dude. And then Jing was so disrespectful, rushing her own father to just go so she could take a look at Bobby. I'm like, seriously? And then, of course, when the play ends and Jack comes back, he notices his own wife all over Bobby, and she kisses him on the lips. Annie, what the heck? Annie literally pretty much cheated on Jack. She kissed the Bobby guy right in front of Jack on the lips. Not on the cheek, on the lips. And Jack didn't even get upset. He didn't seem jealous. It's like he was happy for Annie because, I don't know. And then Bobby ends up going to Hollywood. Sure, it was mainly part of the play. Maybe some people wouldn't see it as taken that seriously because it was just a play. Because at the end of the day, Annie loves Jack, obviously. But damn, I didn't. She just went too far kissing the man on the lips. What the heck? Anyways, Jack tries his best to be the best father he can than his own father was to him. Kimberly Harris, Duncan's younger sister and Jack and Annie's daughter. She is the middle child as she gets no attention that her parents forget that she even exists. In the episode where Duncan and Jean got married, Kimberly tries to get in trouble so she could get some attention from her parents, which failed. She's not popular in school and has been bullied. So she picks on and bullies Duncan to make her feel better. Really? You're gonna pick on and bully your own brother because you're not popular and you've been bullied? You would think Kimberly would tell Duncan that she's being bullied in school so that his job and his duty as a big brother, he can have her back and stand up to the bullies for her. You would think she would do that, but no. Plus, she has a big crush on Duncan's friend Wolf. I mean, she loves that boy. Like in the Judge Annie episode, the part where Wolf hates his shoulders. Kimberly's there for him as she says, stop, they're nice. Oh my goodness, she loves that boy. Or like in the recent episode where Annie adopts Wolf and she's all dressed up in a green dress. She got the earrings going on and she has her purple hair tied up in a bun, looking her best for Wolf. And you know, she telling Jack, what are you talking about? I always dress like this. And then the way she's trying to get around the table on her heels. And then she gets angry with Duncan. She's like threatens him to move. Move, Duncan. You're good, Wolf. Move. I mean, she threatens him with the whole, with her fist balled up. I'm like, girl, who do you think you are? That's your older brother. You don't threaten him like that. I wish Duncan would have stand up to her and said, no, I'm not moving. I mean, yeah, Kimberly seemed like she's a pretty tough cookie. At the end of the day, I'm sure Duncan would have probably got his butt kicked. but I'd rather him take like a man. I'm like, you don't be threatening your older brother. And then she's like, oh, hey, Wolf. I forgot you were staying here. And then all Wolf does is just says, hey. And then she's like, oh, my God, Wolf, you're so funny. I'm like, what the hell? Hey, Kimberly, you might want to tell Wolf that you're in love with him before another girl comes in and he steals her heart. Jean Harris, the adoptive 5-year-old Asian girl. Yeah, I figured that she was adopted. I mean, when you look at her, the Asian eyes, it says it all. And especially with her pigtails. She makes me think of Amy from Futurama. Then there are Duncan's friends, Yangtze, Wolf, who has a crush on Annie and finds her hot. When he said he finds her hot, it makes me think of Johnny Atkins from the Goldbergs. The guy that pretty much bullies Adam. Wolf obviously has a deep voice. Hi, I'm Wolf. I think Mrs. Harris is hot. And Bex, who is a tomboy. The actress who provides the voice of Bex looks exactly like her. It's crazy. And going back to that Judge Annie episode, that part where Bex is all freaked out, and it showed like a person's that died, like their hand it looks all badly bruised and beaten up. When Beck's reaction, I had a feeling that she probably saw like a corpse, but they showed the person's hand badly bruised and beaten up. But then it gets to the point where it shows a jet ski, and Bex is like, jet ski, and then everybody's running. I'm like, what the hell? Who does that? So that was obviously the joke to make you think that Bex was afraid when looking at the hand of a corpse, but when really she was paying attention to the jet ski. I'm like, did anybody not see the person's hand that died like right there on the ground? How you missed that, but you see a jet ski? Who does that? I was wild. I lost my mind when they did that. I'm like, yo, you guys need to call 911. Somebody just died. What are you doing? You just gonna leave the lifeless body on the ground like that? There is also Duncan's crush, Mia, who was voiced by Rashida Jones, the daughter of the late Peggy Limpton and Quincy Jones. Going back to that Judge Annie episode when Mia asked Duncan if he could put some sunscreen on her, he pretty much blew it when he squeezed the sunscreen bottle, and he was thinking that Mia thought he farted, and then he pretty much demonstrated that he makes trumpet farts. And then after that, he just felt so embarrassed that he ran into the water. It's like, dude, you literally embarrassed yourself. Why would you think that she thought that was you that farted? It's like, dude, relax. I better hope Duncan makes Mia his before another guy steals her heart. It's like that Drew Hill song, Beauty, in the one part of the lyrics. I hope that I can make you mine, for another man steals your heart. And once your beauty is mine, I swear we will never be apart. You better hope Duncan makes Mia his before another boy steals her heart. Don't do it, Duncan. Lastly, Mr. Mitch. He is Duncan, Yangtze, Wolf, Bex, and Mia's teacher. He is voiced by Wiz Khalifa, the same guy known for that Black and Yellow song. Wiz Khalifa, I think, should stick to voice acting than rapping. That is just me. So overall, my thoughts on Duncanville. I actually think Duncanville is it's alright. It's okay with me. The show is good. I have no problem with Duncanville. And I will say that it is better than the Mighty Bee. So yeah, Amy Poehler has definitely improved on her second cartoon compared to the Mighty Bee. Now here's the thing. What are they going to do with Bless the Hearts? Because now you have 2 new shows on Fox. And it's like, which show is going to make it on Fox's animation domination? Because it sounds like Fox is going to bring back Bless the Hearts for the fall season. And then it seems like next year in 2021 is when they're going to bring back Duncanville for a second season. Is that how Fox going to do it? I think that's how they're going to do it. But then again, Fox Animation Domination could start at 7:30 and end at 10 o'clock. It doesn't have to necessarily start at 8 and end at 10. Because that way you could start like The Simpsons at 7:30, and then have like, I don't know, Duncanville at 8, and then like Bless Their Hearts at 8:30, and then Bob's Burgers at 9, Family Guy at 9:30. Fox could do it that way. And also, I don't even understand why Family Guy and Bob's Burgers switched their time schedules. Because before, Bob's Burgers was on at 8:30, and then Family Guy came on at 9. But then when Bless the Hearts joined the lineup, they had it at 8:30, and they just moved Bob's Burgers and Family Guy to the other times. It's like you would think Bob's Burgers and Family Guy would have stayed where they were before, and then just have like the new show air at 9:30. They could have done that, but for some reason they decided to put the new show after The Simpsons. Both Duncanville and Bless the Hearts. I don't get that, but whatever. Anyways, that's it. Tell me your thoughts on Duncanville. Hit that Duncanville theme song.